It's absolutely correct. Yes, it's time to swing the axe. What's going on, guys? Happy Friday. Happy freaking Friday. Yes. Oh, man. So, welcome. What's going on? Happy Friday. You know, all the yada, yada, yada. Get you guys into here hanging out. You know, all the good stuff. What's going on? What's good this morning? Knife Nut 69. Welcome. Appreciate you. Marco, what's going on? Ooh, right off the bat here. Hey, Mike, got myself my first real camera, a Canon R50. Should be here tomorrow. Sweet, dude. Did you get any extra lenses or did you get the kit lens? Also, mic check, audio check, visual, everything on, everything working here. Sound off in the chat. Get things rolling. How are we sounding? How are we liking what's visually happening here? Because if I want you guys to stick around, you got to be able to hear me and you got to be able to, of course, see me. And of course, well, I shouldn't say see me, see the cool stuff we're going to be talking about. You know, knives, EDC gear, sipping my coffee, you know, all the good stuff. Oh, what's going on? Six String Beard EDC. I gotta get some sleep for a few hours. Wanted to jump in and say hey and happy Friday, everyone. Hope you have a great kick-ass weekend. I'll catch up tomorrow on the live tonight. Hey, absolutely. You work that late night shift. Totally understand. I get it. I get it. Have a great one here. See you on the live when you come back here, so we'll welcome you back. Have a good weekend as always, of course, as always. Who's sipping coffee this morning here? Cup of coffee in the morning. Or as Macho Man Randy say, would say, cup of coffee in the morning. Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Cream of the crop. Rise to the top. Ain't nobody does it better than Macho Man Randy Savage. Yeah. Cleared the throat a little bit there. Oh, we got the kit lens. Yes. I would say the kit lens is absolutely awesome. I know it was on the Sony. It was good. You'll be happy with it. You'll be honestly pretty happy. Yeah, the lenses is like another rabbit hole when it comes to camera gear. I'll just be straight up honest with you. They can get expensive. You want a good one though. You're looking at taking pictures of the knives, family. What are you thinking about taking pictures of? I can suggest a brand that doesn't break the bank. Because if you're like me, you know, like you want to spend the money, you want to have something good, but you also want to buy the knives. Because if you think, like you just said, if you think knives can be expensive, so can lenses can absolutely be expensive. This is a Sigma. This is the 56 millimeter. I honestly think this is a great lens. Sigma makes affordable and really good sharp lenses. And as far as you know what you're looking at right now, here that's a 16 millimeter. It's wider. The 56 is really zoomed in comparative to. If I had this sitting right there in the exact spot where the camera is, this lens would be like poking my nose. So just food for thought. Sigma is the one that I would say here. You know, it's a good all around. You probably want to go like a 35 millimeter if you want something in between there, of course. Hybrid. I want to do a little bit of everything. Realistically, mostly photos. So yeah, the video wouldn't matter. The lenses here. So a 16 millimeter is a lot wider. If you're thinking about taking photos of like family and friends, like faces, the 16 millimeter is not the best, just because it is so wide. And you got to get closer. Further back, it's hard to explain because you're staring at a 16 millimeter. But anyways, the further back you get, you know, it starts to kind of warp things, which is great for certain photography. 35 mil is going to be right in between there. The 56 millimeter is what I like to take a lot of my EDC photography with. Eventually, you'll be seeing some photos of this bad, but oops, it's breaking. The more I touch this thing, the more it breaks. Yeah, she didn't last long, but the 56 millimeter is going to give you that really good bokeh. Like I said, I don't know if you're going to be taking pictures of like family or not, but this has got a. Let me see here. Yeah, it does. Okay, yeah, 1:1.4. So these are actually just fixed lens. The kit lens you're probably going to get has zoom in and out. This one, honestly, I freaking love it. I need a real camera. You don't. I used to take photos and videos with simply my phone. It worked for years. I used a Google Pixel 7 or something like that, and it worked great. But the big thing about like fixed lens versus the camera versus your phone and all that stuff, it's a rabbit hole, just like collecting knives. I mean, you start getting let's say the Leatherman Arc, which I got a story we talk about this here. It's got a Magna Cup blade. Well, what's wrong with like the Leatherman Signal? But I mean, what makes that one so much better? Well, the blade is one big thing, and the easeability. It's got the magnetic free series, you know what I'm talking about. And this one's got a lock though, and it's harder to open. And actually, I locked this, so it's even harder. All that kind of stuff. It's not the same multi-tool. Why is this one so much more than this one? And I've been telling myself that for a while. Like, how can I tell somebody that they need the Leatherman Signal versus the Arc? Like, what makes it better? And I always say, oh, well, this one's got a pummel on it. Well, so does the Arc. And I've got an idea in mind that I'm going to reach out to. I reached out actually to Chris already. I'm going to go try to find the cheapest Leatherman, which I think is the Rev. I mean, when I say cheapest Leatherman, it's got to be a Pliers Leatherman. And I want to compare them. Like, why is the Leatherman Arc Obsidian $275, and why is the Rev only $50? And I want to do like a comparison. I'm going to break down materials, go over it. What are you guys' thoughts? Do you think that would be a cool video, or you're just going to click away and say, that's stupid, Mike? Just asking. My S24 Plus does good, but I got a taste of using a real camera at Blade, Texas for Kaiser, and I don't want to give the camera back. Well, it's like owning a new knife. Once you get the taste of it, it's like, I can't go backwards. And that's what I always tell people who collect like new knives. The same thing with cameras, same thing. Start at the bottom and climb up slowly. It's not a race to the top, because once you get to the top, you get that. I mean, this isn't really like the top level, but this is getting up there, like a Chavez or a Chris Reeve. You get up there and you start collecting knives like this, and next thing you know, you don't want to go back down the ladder, because it's like, you got all the way up there, and you don't want to carry like a $30 CJRB, the Acacia. You don't want to carry something like that, because you've been carrying something expensive, and it's such a fun ladder. It really is, don't get me wrong, but the camera's the same thing. And once you get up there, it's like, I don't want to go back to my phone. And I do that all the time. I actually will literally try to use my camera on my phone more often, because the old saying, you hear it a million times, and I'm not gonna like chime in and be like that guy, but the truth of the matter is, the best camera, the best knife is the one you have on you. And the same thing, we always have our phone on us. But welcome, Mikey. Appreciate you chiming in here. Knife Nut says, Mikey, I've used my phone for years with a little photo editing. A little photo editing can go a huge way. Which reminds me, I've got to pay for my Lightroom this year. I actually have to pay for it myself. I used to do some work for a boat guy. He has a website, and he didn't have enough work to make it worth it while. We were doing ads and stuff, and it was fun. He loved it, and it just didn't pan out as much as he did. I did it for a couple of years, and it just he got too busy to tell me what he wanted, and what. Anyways, the deal was I would do this work for him, and he would pay for my Adobe, Photoshop, Adobe Lightroom and stuff. And this year I gotta pay for it myself. And if you guys don't know anything about a subscription, the cheapest subscription to have Photoshop and Lightroom with 20 gigabytes of cloud storage, which is huge. With that cloud storage, I take photos and I will put them on my iPad. I'll load them into there straight from the camera, or the SD card, and then I can edit there and start the editing process. And then I can transfer it, and I can load the program on my computer. I can load the program to my phone, and it's as simple as just literally opening it up, and it's there because that cloud storage is there. Well, you can pay up to $120, I think, is the cheapest one for a year. And it used to be, I used to be able to just buy the disc, and now you got to buy the whole thing. And it makes you update it every single year. But then again, it was, I think when I first bought Creative Suite, which was the Adobe Photoshop, the editing programs that I used, it was like $380 gosh, well, it was a student discount, so it was like in the 300s, let's just say. I thought that was a lot for the programs. Now you pay that in 3 years. I used that thing for like 6 years, and that was CS3 now with like Creative Suite, it like updates automatically, so you don't have to keep updating. So it's tough. Yeah, it would be cool to see the comparison. So you guys would be interested in watching, like, I mean, the Signal is like my used to be my go-to favorite, but the Obsidian, the Arc, is obviously my new favorite because, well, I mean, you spend that much money, you gotta love it. I love how easy it is to open, and I'll be honest with you, when it comes to camping, I'm not camping every day. Like right now, if I needed to build a fire, well, I'm in here in my office, I wouldn't use this. And so as much as I camp, which is a lot, this makes more sense for my everyday tasks. The easeability, the tools that are in here. So when do I need a whistle? When I'm down here. When do I need this sharpening tool? When I'm down here. Let me bring in the camera here. Do a little top down for you guys. Hopefully my desk isn't too messy. There we go. And share. Can you guys see that? Here we go. So, as I was saying, like, how often do I need like a stone sharpener or a blade? Like, how often do you really use that? Well, I've got 2 work sharpeners right behind me. I've got 2 over here. Like, that doesn't come in handy for a daily usage. And yes, this is an EDC everyday carry channel, and I talk about everyday carry gear. Well, when do I need a ferro rod? Well, I need that stuff when I'm camping, not when I'm at home. And some of the other gear here, well, that always favorites for me was, honestly, these 2 tools. The bottle opener, yes. My wife, you get those big jars of like peaches or whatever it is. Peaches, pears, whenever they get the drain out. That comes in handy. I got it in the pocket. Go ahead. I got that in here. And of course, the little screwdriver. I can use that as a pry bar too. But now this is honestly one I can tell people they should get while they're camping. But I want to find out, like, this one. This is the Arc. I want to know why this is so much more than like the Rev. I don't know if you guys know what the Rev is. I don't own one in my possession as we speak, but if I had one here, let me just go to like House of Blades and like take a look here. And I'm just genuinely curious, like, is it worth it? And is it worth for us to be spending all that money? Or, well, I personally think it's worth it because I love it. But these are things that like I think about. I stay up late at night. Yes, these are things that I think about when I'm at night. And also, I think you guys enjoy the Leatherman videos. Like, there's some of my best videos. People obviously like them. They got to be doing somewhat good. Let me share the screen. I'm going to look up and see if I can find a Leatherman Rev. If not, I'm going to get on Chris's case and be like, Chris, we need a Leatherman Rev in stock, because you can use code Barbarian to get one. All right, so there's the Leatherman Arc, the Obsidian. Right now, I don't believe the Obsidian is in stock, out of stock, but the regular Leatherman is in stock. All right, let's see what the cheapest one is here. Ooh, a Leatherman Sidekick. Here's a better question. Let me ask this. Maybe I can ask it a better way here. The idea was to come up with the video comparing the most expensive Leatherman versus the most inexpensive Leatherman. And obviously, this is, to me, that you can get right now, of course, in stock. This is the most expensive. And I wanted to do a comparison, and I was going to do it like comparing the most expensive Leatherman versus the cheapest Leatherman out there. What makes it worthwhile, and should you buy the most expensive? Well, I was going to think the Rev was like $50. What are your guys' thoughts? What's a better priced one? Maybe a least expensive one, or maybe you want to see a cheaper one but a different model than the Rev? Let me know in the chat here, guys. What are your guys' thoughts? As for I'm waiting for you guys to do it here, my Carta to Titanium. That's fair enough. Micarta, I love me some micarta. Don't get me wrong. I love me some micarta. A CRK and Gonzo both cut. That is so true. I mean, they both do the job, but something about like up here, it's like, you got something in hand. You're like, oh, I gotta have that. There are way too many people that use multi-tools. Yeah, or way more people. Sorry, yeah, way more people. I would agree. I think more people do. I like multi-tools. I guess when I thought about like originally getting in, like I'm a knife guy, so when it comes to multi-tools, I never really thought about a multi-tool as like my go-to. But the multi-tool is like something I just had. I always had one. I always carried the Gerber, the out the front, because it was a one-handed operated knife, or pliers, I should say, really, because the knife wasn't one-handed, but now that's like this is one-handed, and that's a must for me. But what are you guys' thoughts? Like, is there any specific Leatherman that you would like to compare to that maybe you buy? Like the Wingman's like always been kind of a good one. $70. It's not the cheapest, so I would be kind of lying if I said I'm comparing the cheapest to the most expensive. But if I look at like the Rev, here we go. $49.95 in stock right now. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have Chris hook me up with this one here. Hey, what's going on? What is happening? Good morning. Happy Friday. Grab your cup of coffee. We're talking about comparing the most expensive Leatherman to the most inexpensive Leatherman. I want to make a video on it and compare them. Do a breakdown. Maybe not so much of a torture test, if you know what I'm talking about. Hey, what's going on, Jesse? Good morning. Brewing the coffee as we speak, huh? Okay. Coffee is a brewing. I tell you guys, I switched to making cold press coffee in the fridge. Weirdest thing in the world, but it's pretty cool. It's like coffee on hand at all times now. So I brew my cup of coffee in the morning, but then throughout the afternoon, like the coffee pot, I have a problem with not unplugging my coffee pot. So I have to have a coffee pot that automatically stops brewing after 2 hours. Yes, I have a problem. Otherwise, have you guys ever burnt coffee? For real, you can burn coffee like it stinks bad. And then obviously it starts evaporating, and that's why the bottom of your coffee pot gets black. Anyways, I go on a tangent. So I got a coffee maker. It's like a cheap Black & Decker. I don't know. It was like $12. I don't even know. And it turns off after 2 hours without unplugging it. And then now that coffee gets cold, and it's like hot coffee getting cold isn't that good. Unless you're outside cold, there's like totally different. There's a difference between coffee that gets cold in your coffee cup or coffee that gets cold in the coffee pot versus like being outside in like maybe you're doing some work and the coffee gets cold. Totally different cold. Anyways, I digress, and I'm talking about the coffee that you make in the fridge. It's like the cold brew. Holy smokes, is it good? Like, so now throughout the day after my hot coffee is made, I can drink cold coffee. I think I drink too much coffee sometimes. But anyways, as I say here, the coffee in the fridge, I can just pour it like a cup of tea. Don't get me wrong, tea is my other go-to, by the way. Have you ever had tea and whiskey? Anyways, that's a whole other story. Good question. Would be tools, materials, build quality, and such. Exactly. But I'm going to tell you this here. So let's just talk about it here. The Magna Cut on the Arc is the biggest feature, in my opinion. I think everybody's Magna Cut hyping up here right now, which CPM, speaking of, we're going to have to talk about the Magna Cut. What's going to happen with Magna Cut? That's another thing I do want to talk about here. But we're talking about materials. It doesn't say the blade material. It just says stainless steel. So obviously there's going to be some research for this video, but is that blade so much better? I've got a Rock-Tall multi-tool I absolutely love. I love this so much. I talked about it and bragged it so much I had to give it to my dad because he's like, well, it's so good. Can I have it? I was like, you already have one. Because he knows I got this super expensive one. I was like, should I carry around a $50? Maybe that's another video I should do. Actually, I did that video and it did well. But anyways, I carried that one. I had VG10 blade steel. Is that better than the Rev? So as often as you use your think about it. Ask yourself this here. Do I use the blade on my multi-tool more than the blade I carry in my right pocket? Because I'm going to be honest with you. I carry my Leatherman on the hip, and I carry it in this really awesome leather sheath. And then I carry a regular bladed knife or a fixed blade in the right hand pocket. So now tell yourself, how often do you use that blade on that multi-tool? Is it going to dull out faster than maybe the rev that here? That rev right there, $50. Is it worth it to have that $275 one? Okay, so if you just told me that, well, Mike, I use that blade all the time. I use that multi-tool all the time. Do you carry a blade in your pocket still? If you do, then maybe you don't need this one. Maybe the rev will be just fine. And that's what I want to find out. So I'm actually going to do some cut testing, find out the materials, really dig in. And does it feel good? It's more kind of curiosity for myself. And I kind of want to do more of those, but obviously talked like we did earlier, going up that ladder, now I feel like I'm at the top with the arc, and going back to a rev, it's kind of like going to a CRK, going down to like a Sabibi. Like, would you do it? I mean, it's still a good knife. It cuts, whatever. But those are things. That's what I'm just kind of curious about, of course. Been carrying a custom half base blades. Wow, Gab Jr. Fixed blade. And my modified, I love that. You posted that, and I love that thing. Dragonflight and Warrenclyffe, I love that. Been loving this combo. So that's actually kind of something, the other thing I was kind of thinking about going down a rabbit hole and asking people about as well. And I'll tell you kind of my insights, kind of how I feel about carrying multiple knives, because I like to carry, like I said, my multi-tool on one side and my knife on the other side, right? And sometimes I even like to carry a fixed blade. So I like to carry a fixed blade. Sometimes I like to bring that along with a folder. Maybe the folder is small, so the fixed blade is going to be big. Maybe the fixed blade's small and the folder is going to be big, or the multi-tool. Sometimes I even carry all three. Don't tell anybody, because that's probably embarrassing to admit that I carry three knives, and sometimes I even carry a fourth knife. But who's talking? But for real, I like what you just said there. You carry a combo of knives, and I'm the same way. Because there are things like you want to cut that do different tasks. So if I'm outside, right, I'm going to use a blade that's going to be pretty donkey, maybe, and I'm cutting on a stick or cutting on some, maybe I'm cutting a little weed out of the grass. I like lawn care. I like to have a nice grass that the neighbors drive by and be like, oh my God, that looks like a golf course. Yes. I should show you guys some of the pictures of my front yard. My backyard's trash, don't get me wrong. But what I do is sometimes I'll see a weed, I'll cut it out, pull it out. I'm literally been that anal for a couple years. So I'm not going to use that same blade on something I'm going to maybe cut the apple, or cut something for food. That's just, you don't want to do that. That's disgusting. So, that's also a good reason to carry two knives. You know what I mean? Stopping by to show some love and smash the like. Hey, appreciate you, Mike, and I appreciate that. Thank you. Blessed Knife says, good morning, Barbarian Brownie, and all. Having a coffee, smoke break, and listening. Hey, appreciate you. Hopefully your break gets a little bit longer because it's Friday. It's time to relax. We're going with the weekend. You know what I'm talking about? Marco says, welcome. You guys check out the Discord already? Posted up 15V collection this morning. Oh, well, check it out right now. I still haven't yet downloaded it on my darn computer. I'm slacking, aren't I? I'm slacking. I'm going to check the Discord right now here. I don't believe in lawn care. So I grew up in the country, and my dad had the most epic saying ever. His saying was, I'm going to live by it because I only live in town temporarily and until the house is built. But I grew up on the farm. My dad always said, people drive by because we drive dirt bikes, four-wheelers. At the time it was three-wheelers. Sorry, they didn't have four-wheelers when I grew up. They did, and if you had a four-wheeler when I was growing up, you were rich. Anyways, so you would rip up the lawn, and we'd come down the driveway and zipping right off down the highway area. You'd see a trail getting into the woods. And then my coworkers would always come by and be like, hey, I drove by your house today. What's going on with the front yard? And my dad would be like, I'm raising kids, not lawns. And it made sense, and it always sparked my head. And so when you say that I don't believe in lawn care, I'm half and half. Like I said, my backyard is where the kids play. The front yard is where the neighbors drive by. And my front yard is not that big. That and it's kind of like owning a garden, and if I could turn my front yard into a garden, I would. No, I'm all about that, but I don't get to have a garden in this in living in town. Growing up in the country, my garden was a dang field. So yeah. Anyways, it's like a temporary thing. It's when I move back out there and the house is built, it's going to be like the same thing my dad always said. I'm raising kids, not grass. Wade Knife and Tool in the house. What's going on? Hey, I just saw your picture yesterday. You tagged me in, or sorry, video. Those look good. Where I don't have mine on me. It's on behind me. So I'm gonna grab that. I gotta show that off here. Epic little fixed blade knife here, and I like this thing. Wade Knife and Tool made these for Crispy Donut Community. It looks like another batch has dropped. These things are absolutely awesome. If you need a pocket dropping knife, you got jimping up here, jimping right here. Perfect little fixed blade here. You talk about, or I talked about carrying a fixed blade along with a folder. That is the perfect one to carry with you. Just throwing that out there. If you guys haven't checked out Wade Knife and Tool, check them out on Instagram. Your wife's a photographer too, is that right, Wade? Epic photos, epic knife maker. Appreciate you stopping in here. Not yet. Oh yeah, I was checking out the Discord. Well, it looks like Jack's popping in here. Where did you post it? Did you post it in which part here? The photo was slit. Ooh, knife. Ooh. Okay, here we go. I got to get it on my computer so I can show you up here. So this is your 15V collection. Epic. Yes. Yeah, guys, check out the Discord here. Hang out in there. It's just a spot. Post your stuff. Have conversations when we're not live, because sometimes I miss you guys when I'm not. When I'm not live, I miss you guys. Exactly. Different knives for different tasks. I like to carry 2 different blade shapes and slicey and thicker. Absolutely. So I carry this guy. I like it for its size, and this is one I don't feel bad about breaking, because look how you talk about thick. Look how thick it is behind the spine there. You know what I'm saying? This is actually turned into a spike for me, and I think I've told this story in the past. The reason I carry this one, like I said, because it's one that I don't feel bad about breaking. Like Wade's tool, I feel like it's super slicey and sharp. I wouldn't have done what I with this. It probably could hold up. Wade, maybe you can attest. But let me tell you the stories, and I've probably told it in the past. Anyways, I used my Leatherman in one pocket and the fixed blade in the other one. And what I did is I used it as a spike. And I jammed it into a helium tank, and it's one of those helium tanks you get from like Target. And you have to dispose of it. You have to poke a hole in it, take the release valve off. So you use your Leatherman, you take the release valve, you take it off, and then they want you to poke a hole in it. Well, I had this and right in the back of it here. So Wade, do you think this would I have done damage to it? Because this is, like I said, a super slicey one. And the GMF one, the Giant Mouse, I wouldn't call this a super slicey blade, but it's pretty thick, like I said, around the spine. Like it's kind of a, I don't know. It worked perfect, and I don't know, it didn't damage it. Wade, what do you think? Do you think I could have done that with yours? I think I could have. I think it would have held up, but different knives for different things. Wade's is one that I use kind of for more food prep and stuff that I want to be like super thin. Like if I'm going to cut a tomato all day, this thing I believe is going to be a super slicer. Anyways, different knives for different people. Absolutely. I appreciate you, Brownie. Yeah, my wife is a photographer also. Heck yeah. Good morning. That's awesome. Your dad's funny. My dad, he was the cool dad. I think we talked about it last week. Growing up, my friends came over, and my dad was the cool dad. And then I want to be like him. I want my kids to think that I'm the cool dad. Hey, Sid Bones in the house. Good morning. Happy Friday. Welcome you here. Sid is getting rid of his Benchmade, guys. He's getting rid of the famous Taylor Martin photography. This is the one that was in the tree with the coin and the winter day. probably one of the most famous photos I know Sid of. He's getting rid of it, and I'm sad about it. Birdman in the house. I see you. What's going on? What's going on? Anyone else have a problem where the first thing you cut with your new knife is the next one? Let me make sure here. The first thing you cut with your new knife is the next one. So what you're saying is you get a new knife, and the first thing you use it for is to open up a new knife altogether. I don't have that problem. I mean, I wish I had that problem, because what that means is you're getting knives, and I'm jealous, and you get to open up more boxes of knives with a new knife, and that is what I'm saying. Epic. Yeah, no, I'm jealous. I wish that was a problem I had. That means more knives are coming in. I'd be curious to see if it would work if you try it and it breaks. I'll warranty it. Ooh. Well, my kid's got a birthday coming up here, Wade, and I'm gonna have another helium tank. I don't want to break it. I don't like breaking knives, and obviously it happens, but I'd feel bad for you. Then you'd have to send me another one, and I'd feel bad, because is that considered warranty? I'm not purposely gonna damage it, but it's got to go through that helium tank. I feel bad. I'm going to really test out 15B on all these platforms this year. Definitely do it. This year is my year where I'm going to be really kind of putting knives to the tasks, and not just photography on my channel now, not just kind of showing them off. I really want to kind of put knives in. I think last year at this time, if you had said, Mike, how come you don't do the spine whack? And I would have said, because I don't feel like you need to. And I'm gonna switch around. I really think this is the year where I'm gonna really kind of put knives through here. The torture test. Not gonna say I did this through a torture test, but I took this out to a buddy's house. We went into his garage. He's got a big machine shed on the farm, and we threw axes. I don't even have my axe here. And anyways, we did an axe throwing. He puts a big log, he chained it up, and we were throwing axes. We had a big competition. It was fun. And I was like, I don't have any throwing knives. So the closest thing I had here was the Demco Armature 4. And, it kind of held out. I will tell you, this is not a throwing knife, but I kind of got to the point where it's like, I really want to see what a knife can do. I want to see what it can do. So obviously, if you've seen the other channel and you've seen the E-Kurt test, been throwing knives through the torture test. I keep showing that. You guys will see that here on Sunday. I've used mine as a pry on construction sites and other hard to use tasks, so I have faith. Okay, you have faith. Okay, I think so too. It's kind of like the Sebenza. Let me just kind of like preference what I mean by like I worry about, like, I don't want to be, and I should. I mean, that's what it's for. But cutting anything major with the Benz, I don't even want to like cut food with it, because I feel like I'm gonna get dirty. But that's what it's for. I'm telling you. Okay, that's my chore this year, to focus on really hard using the expensive knives that I have. Let me just put it that way. Lauren's welcoming everybody. Hey, what's going on? Happy Friday. Hope you guys are drinking some hot coffee. Yeah. Cup of coffee in the morning, cream of the crop. Yeah. Saying goodbye to a legend in my collection, to someone who will carry it more. That is also the other thing. Somebody else is going to carry that, and that's true. So yeah, hopefully, Sid, it's going to a good home. Are you selling it on Blade Binge, or did you already sell it? I think you were talking about maybe selling it on Blade Binge, and maybe I misunderstood that. I'll have to check it out. Everybody's seen it. We're kind of sad, so maybe we'll do have to do a tribute to that night. It's been through some times here. Yo, what is going on, Brady? Shit, I'm late. What did I miss? Everybody, welcome Brady. Let's bring attention to Brady for being late for class today. You guys ever have to do that in high school? Like, I never cared, but cheers to Brady for making his way here. I know he heard me talk about using a folder for food, so I'm just waiting for that comment to show up. Because I know Brady's going to say, yeah, you don't use a folder for food, and he is a stickler for it. So sometimes I kind of like to just kind of jab at you because I know you don't like that. That's why you carry a fixed blade around you. And Brady, I learned this from Brady. That's why you have the fixed blade. It's for food prep. So if you're going to cut food, use that. Shake it under the water, you're good to go. And I've said that, and I agree with it. You know, you imagine using, your folder and all that grime and food and stuff gets stuck in there. That's actually why my Spyderco lightweight, which I thought was on my desk, doesn't work so well. It was one of the first knives I brought camping with me as a folder. I used it for steak. I used it for just like grime and whatnot. And I took it apart and I stripped the screws. I took it apart to clean it. And when I put it back together, everything was stripped. I didn't pay attention where the screws go back in. And if you are not careful, you can put them in the wrong spot. Apparently on a Spyderco with the lightweight, knife has never run perfectly fine ever since then. And I know that like some of my other knives I've taken apart, I've had really good luck. I've taken apart my Chris Reeves knife. They go back together smoothly. The lightweight from Spyderco didn't. And I learned my lesson, so I'm just waiting for that to come through here. I'm waiting. I can just sense that Brady's about to comment about it. Stabbing a knife that thin through metal can be asking. Yeah, see, I'm thinking that's what I'm afraid of because it is. It's super thin, but you guys heard it. Wade said he would warranty it. Super slicey, and I really think it is. What correct me if I'm wrong. What blade steel? I'm not even gonna try to remember what is the blade steel that's on that Wade. Let me tell you how I know. Oh, let's hear the story. Just a little multi-tool talk. Yeah, and we were talking about multi-tools. I'm thinking about, and I'll bring this back up here. Thinking about picking up a lower price Leatherman and comparing the Leatherman Arc, one of the more expensive Leathermans, versus the cheapest Leatherman. I think I kind of want to get the Wingman, but the Rev, I don't know. And that's where you guys were supposed to come in, and you guys are supposed to say, hey, get the Leatherman, blah, 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 blah. I was going to get the Rev because it's $50, but I'm thinking the Wingman. You guys let me know. What are your guys' thoughts? Because the idea is comparing the most expensive Leatherman versus the most inexpensive Leatherman and why you should buy that knife and blah, blah, blah. You know kind of the schmooze. Wait time until, all right. If not the manifold, I'll have you get one of the new Protos. You want me to test it out? I mean, I'd be more than happy to, because like I said, this year that's what it's about for me. I want to really put some expensive knives through the test. There it is. It's not for food. I knew I could sense that coming up, that Brady was going to say, do not use your folder for food. I could sense it. That's true. I'm not going to disagree. That's why you carry a folder and a fixed blade or a multi-tool. It's different tasks for the day. It's called EDC, everyday carry. And somebody got in my comments the other day and was like, yes, EDC isn't to make your day easier. Yes, it is. Everyday carry. Why would you carry something on you if it's not to make your life easier? I got a little sour about that comment. Everyday carry. You carry something on your body to make things easier. You carry a knife on you to make that task easier. A Leatherman in your pocket, on your belt. Why would you walk around with tools if you didn't want things to be easier? I mean, it's all about accessibility. It's about having something you want to really quick do a job. I've used this example in the past because it comes up more than often. The knob in the kitchen, right? You get a drawer, the knob's a little loose. Do you want to walk out to the garage, or do you have maybe a toolkit in your kitchen? Well, there you go. But do you want to go over there and grab that tool, or do you simply just want to go like this, bloop, right on your belt, tighten that screw up, go on with your day? Your wife's happy, you're happy, because it didn't take a lot of work. EDC, making things easier. Yes, that's an example because you're at home. Yeah, you could go grab something on a tool. Okay, another example. Maybe you're out walking the woods and you want to check on your tree blind. You want to check on your deer stand, right? You walk up the deer stand, something's a little loose. You got a ladder, like if you're like me, the ladder, you got those rings, something gets loose. You got to grab the pliers. You got your multi-tool. Boop, boop. tighten them up really quick here because it's on your body. Maybe you wouldn't go out the woods to fix the deer stand. It just came up there because you're walking the woods to maybe get a compost, and you're bringing the compost out there and you're swinging by. Everyday carry, making things easier. Maybe there's a couple twigs or there's a whatever, a rope or something that needs to be cut, in the deer stand. You've got it on you. You didn't mean to go out there to the woods, but there you go. Everyday carry, making things easier. And I'm going to go on a tangent, and I will. I apologize, but it bugged me that somebody's like, they literally put in the comments, EDC is not to make your day easier. What's it for then? Solid. It is 29 Sparrow Leather. I created my account to Blade Binge, but didn't list anything. My bank account is giving. Oh, shiza. So 29 Sparrow Leather is actually doing it for you. Speaking of 29 Sparrow Leather, I do want to bring out here a quick thing here. He is actually doing some sales on his website. So we'll have to bring that up here in a bit. I'll have to try to find how I can do that here. Hopefully he pops in here. He can drop his chat. But yeah, he's going to be doing some sales going on here. So let me just make sure you created your account on Blade Binge, but you didn't list anything. So you just sold it to 29 Sparrow. So that knife's going to go to a great home for sure. Then awesome. Okay. Lauren says, I use a folder and a fixer for food all the time. I'm telling you though, if you're not careful and you get it grummy in there, like these little bearings that are here. Not that it's going to happen, but that's like my biggest thing about bearings and food prep. And you'll never be able to see. There we go. You imagine getting some like meat grease in there, and then it just like gets all grummy. Then you got to take it apart and clean it. With a folder, you just take it, rinse it under the water, and good to go. Good to go. But I am also with you, Lola, and I really do use my folder for a fixed blade. Don't tell Brady that. What's going on, One Boon? What is up? Well, we're just drinking coffee, shooting the crap, talking about EDC, and talking about how we carry things. Talking about multi-tools. Do you carry a multi-tool and a fixed blade and a folder? Do you carry one of them? Do you carry all of them? No, that's kind of what we've been kind of randomly talking about, and join the conversation. Appreciate you. One folder and one fixie day. That I agree with that. So, is it weird then to carry a multi-tool on the hip, folder in the pocket, and a fixed blade? Would you wear that like scout carry if you're gonna do all three, or boot carry? So the manifold would fit really well in my cowboy boot because you could wear it like in the pocket, because I'm a huge in the pocket carrier. This would go good in the cowboy boot, you know what I'm talking about? Then I would want to carry four, because the boot knife is probably going to be like your backup to your backup, if you know what I'm talking about. The backup to your backup. If you get that conversation, we can be friends, if you understand that. If you understand that. Sid Bone says, I use my sheepdog for food all the time. Probably my favorite knife to chef with. Oh, okay. I have been using the Damn Design chef knives. Took them camping with me, and they did extremely good. Yeah, that's what I thought, Wade. I thought they were $10.95 steel. So I think it would hold up. I think it would hold up. I definitely would be. Carry a rebar. oh, sorry, the Leatherman rebar. How much is the rebar? Let me take a look here. I was thinking pry bar, like a rebar. My bad. Leatherman rebar is actually a good one. How much is that one? Because like I said, I want to compare it. This is what happens when I go on these sidetracks. I kind of forget what we were even talking about. Leatherman rebar. Here we go. Okay. I really wanted to buy that one. So I think the problem with comparing the rebar to the Arc, $100 difference. Gosh, I honestly here's what I would compare. This is the knife I had a problem when I was going to buy the Signal. I was going to buy the rebar, and then the Signal came up. Gosh, that's a tough one. Maybe I should compare that one. like I said, I'm looking to do more of a, like I said, a comparison to a lot of different Leathermans, like multi tools and stuff like that. Rebar's on my want list. I had one and I got rid of it, and this is why you don't get rid of things. And I made a mistake. Spectacle lightweight are a pain if you're not super careful with disassembly. Thank you, Knife Done 69. I thought I was going crazy because I was like, I can't get this stupid thing back together. I'm so dumb. Glad I didn't videotape it because like I said, actually, I wish I would have videotaped that. I wish I would have had the camera because then I would have known what I was doing wrong. But yeah, it was a pain in the butt. Like, I don't know why. If you like the Spyderco Para 3 lightweight, do not find a reason to take it apart. I think the lightweight Spyderco, I would say I'm going with that here, are easier than G10. Oh, see, you don't have scales. Are you saying it's because you don't have the scales? It's like less work, maybe? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong to think that. I don't know. I thought it was a pain in the butt. Truthfully, I really thought it was a pain in the butt. That's just my thought. Like, it was easy to take apart, but putting it back together was just didn't work. Although, if you want a pain in the butt, take apart and put back any Benchmade, whether it's let's just go with the basic, the bug out. Man, those Omega springs are a pain in the butt. You think that the Demco, the Shark Lock would be hard? Nah, the Benchmade bug out. Pain in the butt. Hey, there he is. Good morning from Texas. High Tide EDC, speaking of Texas, and some beautiful leather gear. High Tide's in the building. What's going on? Happy Friday. Grab a cup of coffee. What are you working on today? What are you working on? They don't have that stupid lanyard hole, bro. I forgot about that. Okay, you're right. So that lanyard hole, sometimes you have a problem with that. Some actually work just with no problems. Yeah, so okay, I see what you're saying. If that's the only problem, okay, I will give it to you there. Okay, all right, I'll go with it. He's what? I do carry all three. Okay, thank you. Okay, I'm in here. Okay, the power pint, a fixed blade, which I saw your fixed blade that you typically carry, which I think is the one you posted today. It's a larger one, and usually in my pouch. Or okay, so that makes sense. You carry the power pint, which makes sense in your pouch. It's the perfect pouchable multi-tool. So I go with you on that. Okay, and do you carry the fixed blade on you? Or did I read that it's actually in your pouch? Or you say fanny pack? It's called a sling. It's not a purse; it's a satchel. So I'm for that. I still gotta have my multi-tool on me. I know, Brady. We haven't got you to that level yet, but we're gonna get you there. We're gonna get you down that rabbit hole where you're gonna be like dad enough. I know you try not to be, but we're gonna get you there where you're going to be wanting to carry a multi-tool on the hip. You're going to do it. I can feel it. I can feel it. Sis says, or we should start bringing Batman's utility belt into style. Yes, please. For the EDC community to carry all those daily tools. Yes, please. I mean, we're still trying to get the fanny pack or slings. I'm still thinking that I wish that was still stylish. Like, I grew up in the wrong time. 1980, when you could wear a fanny pack and nobody was the lesser of you. I mean, I'm a fan of a pouch. I'm not going to call it a fanny pack because they're so much cooler nowadays. Now you can get loop on there. Molly webbing, maybe you want some there. No, the fanny pack was just an absolute awesome tool. Because think of all the things you can carry, and think of all the things we've been missing out. Like, if you're like me, I grew up in the 90s into the obviously 2000s. If you wore a fanny pack, you couldn't get away with it, but think of all the things I missed out by carrying. I mean, I am going to be carrying my pew in my fanny pack. I think that's going to be something I want to try out because it's getting colder out and kind of hard to get all through those layers, so that's something I'm going to be trying out. I've never done it. And anybody in the chat, have you guys ever carried like that? You EDC a pew? If you do, have you ever done that? I haven't. I've always been, outside the waist or inside, typically inside, about 3:30 ish o'clock on the belt in the summer, and then outside the waist in the winter. Now I want to try the old fanny pack style. I don't know. Just thought about it. But I'm with Sid here though. I think it would be pretty epic to bring back the party belt, the Batman belt. Think of all those things you could do to look like the M1 Garand tool belt instead of the what's the M1 Grand? Is it 30-06? It doesn't matter. Anyways, maybe you guys don't even know what I'm talking about, but those little tool belts, and it's just full of ammo for old time I don't know, whatever, World War II Korea that they would wear. But EDC gear, think of all the stuff you could have your band-aids in one. You could have your multi-tool in one. You could have candy. You gotta have candy. If you guys don't carry candy, you don't know what you're missing yet. I'll tell you what. There's nothing better if you're a dad. Let me preference if you're a dad. EDCing a piece of candy, two pieces of candy. You gotta have two because I got two kids. The other day where were we? We were going to see the Christmas lights, right? Kids were kind of like, Dad, hurry up, let's go. And they were being kind of, I don't want to say they're being naughty. They were just excited, right? And at one point, I had to finally settle them down. Like, we're in public. We got to be a little more public friendly, is I guess the way to say it. Anyways, if you got kids, you know what I'm talking about. So I told them, I said, okay, so if you guys are good, I've got candy. And I pull up candy, and you can bribe kids with candy. My kids love it. But anyways, EDC and candy, and maybe you got low blood sugar. You gotta have a piece of candy. It's a health thing. Maybe I don't know. I don't know. But I'm just telling you guys, if you don't EDC candy, you don't know what you're missing. I've never owned a multi-tool. In my opinion, they're to all-season tires. Okay, if you've never owned a multi-tool, are you one of those guys who pries with your knife? Do you use your knife as a screwdriver? Come on. Is that you? Come here. Come closer. I know. That means that's what you're doing. It means you're using your knife for everything. As much as I want to say that is the big no-no, do it. It's your tool. Do what you want. I carry a pry tool. I've got a little one in the pocket. But if you're one of those guys that you're here we go. I got a little tiny pry tool. If you're using your knife to pry on things, honestly, I know you're like a knife maker, right? But I'm cool with that. I'm glad you do, because you're more of a man than me. I admit it. I'm too chicken and it's more because I've got this like collector mentality instead of like I always preference myself as a collector and a user, which I've got some knives that look terribly ugly and dirty, but I think it's the photography part of me. Like, I gotta have a clean knife, and I don't show off my used knives anymore. Like, once they get super used and broke down, I don't typically do much. And that's the thing. Maybe I should start changing that. Maybe I should start really beating on my knives and throw out the pry bars. Is that what you're telling me I should do? I used to carry my Leatherman until I lost it on a job site. I had it. I was a folder in front right pocket, big seat in the back pocket, and Leatherman on the hip. I'm telling you guys, this is such a good holster here. This thing is super cool. This is from EDC. Yeah, I always have to look. 1791. It's a weird year. I'm curious what that year even means, but I use this thing and it holds up really well. I've got this for my keys. It's just from Key Unity. Just a cool little. It's actually for the belt, but I slide it on here sometimes. Anyways, I like it. I think multi-tools are great. I was going to say something about what you said in there. Oh, you lost it on a job site. So something I got buddies. All my close friends are farmers, or they work at some type of job where they beat the shit out of their knives, right? And they're always asking, "Hey, you got a knife I could have?" And whatever, no big deal. But I bring like something like this, right? 275 spankaroonies, right? Who pays that kind of money for a multi-tool? Or I show them this. I show them that's let's just call it $600 knife, and they're all like, I would never use that because I would lose it. Like I got a buddy who does tiling for fields, right? He tiles. That's where you put drainage in the field. If you guys are, I know what I'm talking about. That's where the water's got to go somewhere. It just can't puddle up. You kill the crops. Anyways, he said he's lost 15 or so knives down there. Can you imagine losing like, gosh, I'd even be sad to be losing like $15, $30 knives. But like he loses them. He cuts something down there. Somehow they get buried. So someday some archaeologists are going to be like digging up our fields and they're going to find a bunch of just knives down there. I've been strictly using your meat church from Montana Knife Company. So that is a super nice knife. I'd be using the heck out of it. Do you hip carry that? Like, do you carry that on like on your belt? Because that would be sweet. I mean, really, how cool would that be? It would remind me of the old, you call that a knife? No, this is a knife, or whatever he says. Honestly, a multi-tool is only one thing I don't carry. Do you carry like a Knipex or a Knipex, however you guys want to pronounce it? I'm not a grammar Nazi, but do you carry a type of pliers? I couldn't tell you how many times I actually use my pliers. As weird as that may sound, I'm just curious. Knife, not the same. Okay. I love working and listening to EDC live streams. Happy Friday, everyone. My version of, hey, what's going on? Razor G, cheers to you. Happy Friday. Hopefully you're having a good Friday and working hard, but not working too hard. Because remember, it's Friday. Today is the day you gotta relax and ease into the weekend, because if you don't ease in on the weekend on a Friday, you're going into Saturday super hard, and that's when you have troubles on Sunday morning. Let me just tell you what I mean. If you go into Saturday morning too hard, Sunday is going to be rough, which makes Monday even harder. So take it easy on a Friday so your work day on Monday isn't so bad. That is the tip of the day. Oh, the free P4. I don't think you can even get a free P4 anymore. Honestly, I think that the ARC is taking over that one, which is a bummer. He means boomstick. Yeah, that's what I mean to say. If there's an actual high-end multi-tool, I'd be interested. I mean, I think what makes the ARC high-end honestly has to do with one thing, and that's the MagnaCut blade. I will fully admit that the wire snips are hot garbage. That even the wire snips on my Signal are actually broken because I tried to cut a coat hanger. I don't know if I can even show that. Let me do this here for you. I don't even know if I can show it, but the wire snips are hot garbage on the new ones. The old ones you have to, I think the P34, you're talking about the P4, I think has the good ones. You have to buy the old ones. I don't know if I can get that, but you can see it's kind of chipped a little bit in there. And that was, oh, here we go. Maybe that's a better angle. But anyways, yeah, they broke. What happened was I was literally cutting a hanger because I needed a piece of wire, and that was the first piece of wire I could even find. And I needed to cut the wire because I was dyeing some scales for, I think, my Demco, and use the tool that's on you, and that was on me at the time. And yeah, it actually broke the wire snips. And that, from my understanding, is like the Achilles heel to the expensive stuff. I would be genuinely curious to find out, like, the rebar. I'd be curious. Like, that is actually one of the biggest things about a multi-tool for me. It's got to have replaceable bits because that stuff happens. Or custom. I would say Blessed Knives, if you're saying like high end, I would be curious what multi-tool is the most high end. Like I said, this really makes it high end because of the blade, in my own honest opinion. Which then, why do you need a super high end blade if you're going to carry a nice knife anyways? So yeah, that's honestly why I keep thinking about that video. Is it worth it if you're going to carry a knife anyways? Do you really need the high-end MagnaCut blade? So therefore, you could carry around a $50 multi-tool, and then if you do break the snips or you break the pliers, you're not like feeling super bad about it. You know, that's kind of what I think. Oh, wait, tell me more, Wade. Now, what am I missing here? Wade, my bro, is on my behind to do that. Tell me more. Tell me more. Going to be a while. What am I missing? This little back end story here. I'm listening. I'm all ears here. What am I missing here? I can tell why it's a pain. Ask me why. Ask me, please. I'm here. I'm listening. Am I far behind the chat? Let me catch up here a little bit here. Hi Ty says I'm working on a Toro Pro Force debris blower. That's not making any EDC gear. Put that Toro down. Pick up the leather. Let's go. I'm just kidding. What the heck are you looking at working on a leaf blower for? There's no leaves in the ground. It's winter. Gosh, you people and your non-winter having abilities. I hate the winter. No, I don't hate the winter. Actually, I hate when it's super cold and there's no snow on the ground. You can wear a fanny pack. Just laugh at the ignorance of others. I guess you're right. You know what? You're right. You're absolutely right. That when I'm in public, I try to like carry it like a backpack, because then like people are like, oh, this is just a backpack. But I'll tell you what, EDC and dad life, I tell you, it goes a long way. Like EDC the fanny pack and all the stuff I can put in there for the kids it's just awesome. We're one to laugh at the peasants who laugh at you for having a good point. Good point. I always just call my fanny pack or sling my purse. It's hilarious. It's not a purse, it's a satchel. The EDC satchel. Yes, I agree with you there. I do the same or a merce. There you go, or a merce. I mean, I heard this from, who did I hear it from? I think it was Marine. No, was it Marine X? No, I heard it from somebody else too, I think. God damn hangnail. The pouch, the bag, that was invented. The men carried those around back in the day. The women actually didn't carry it. So we actually are just bringing back the times, which random thought in my head, bear with me. We're just bringing back the bags. We carried the slings. We carried the purse as men. I shouldn't say we. It was a manly thing, because I think people, when they see that, they call purse a woman's thing. Us men have been doing that. The women took it from us. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm going on a tangent, but I'm being serious. It's kind of true. I mean, and that's fine. I think that's why people think it's weird. So I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna take your guys' advice and I'm gonna do it. Let's face a fanny pack sling is a man person. It 100% is. It 100% is. It 100% is. Same. My wife always rolls her eyes. Face it. Absolutely. Fanny packs for the win. I'm thinking I agree with you. I know we're going back in conversation. I feel like I'm far behind, but I'm doing my best to catch up here. I had a Gerber multi-tool and I use it to keep around when I'm doing landscape construction and stonework, and the guy I gave it to still carries it almost 20 years later. Well, that's what I'm talking about here. That means, what multi-tool did you give him? The Gerber? Because I've got some good Gerbers. What you're saying is the Gerber tool has made it over 20 years doing landscaping construction and stonework. No, that's what I'm talking about. Obviously, we need to bring back the Gerber athletes leather, but throw those in the garbage and bring back Gerber, apparently, because dang, that's what I'm talking about here. Oh, I made my pry bars that cut bolts. Okay, I need one. Because here's what happened to this knife when it tried to cut a bolt. I need to find out about your pry bar. I feel dumb now, because that's what happens when you try to cut a bolt with a knife in 14C28 and blade steel. Didn't work. So now I need to know. I apologize for not knowing that or not paying attention to names. So my bad. I got my alpaca merce with me today. It's a bit heavy, but yeah, that's because you got a lot of brass in there. I was gonna say, you got the heavy duty stuff in there for sure. I stopped wearing one when I realized I just ended up carrying everyone else's stuff. Good point. I couldn't tell you like how often I would carry like my wife's ID when we go. It's like, I'm carrying your stuff. What the heck? So I agree. Okay, good point. It's kind of why I actually want to not drive a pickup truck, because you end up moving everybody. If you are a pickup driver, everybody wants you to A, help you move their shit, B, help you pull a trailer. They call on you to pull you out of the ditch if they're stuck, which I'm okay with. I'm okay with. But that's kind of like driving a truck and also driving a vehicle like a SUV that has tons of seating. My wife wants us to get into a newer vehicle that has more seating. And your comment there is stop wearing one when you realize you end up carrying everybody else's stuff. Kind of like our car can hold 4 people. Her Honda CRV. That's what she drives. It gets great gas mileage. It can carry all 4 of us in the family plus our luggage. She wants to step it up to a 3rd row seating, and now you know what that's going to be. It means we're always going to be the driver if we go places. I'm going to tell my wife that one right there. I'm snipping that one in the head up here to tell her. Immerse, okay, Mr. Chow. What's going on, Crispy Critter? What's going on here? Yeah. Oh, I read make? I thought I read make, so I understood that. My kind of pry. Yeah, I was just gonna say that's my kind of pry bar. Like if it can cut through a bolt, absolutely. I need to know more about it. I need to know more about it. But Ray and Brownie, I'm a right tool for the right job kind of person. My folders are not holding up to prying thin to and so that's what I'm talking about. Now knowing that you make pry bars and your folders, yeah, your pry bar, hell yeah, if that can cut through a bolt, absolutely. But a knife is slicey. You use that to cut up things, gosh, I just cut up a bunch of cardboard boxes, and I'm going to use the right knife for that. I'm not going to be using a small knife like something like this. Can't cut up a bunch of cardboard boxes. It's small. You're going to use something that feels good in hand. So right job, a right tool for the right job, 100%. I honestly don't EDC much. A knife or 2, and sometimes a pry bar. I always have a pliers. So you got a pliers in the pickup truck or your Jeep. Yeah, well that's another thing. There's a truck carrying those EDC. My truck carrier, I've got a shovel. I've got a pair of jumper cables. I don't need to carry that on myself, but I keep a multi-tool in the truck even too to top it off here. So when it comes to like carrying a bunch of stuff and that EDC there's a difference. There's the everyday carry in the truck. There's the EDC on your person, and then there's an EDC in your sling bag or fanny pack. So I carry a knife on me, my wallet, my phone, my keys. What's on my person. My belt is another type of carry. Right now, don't look down, but I'm wearing sweatpants. Get over it. Obviously, why this isn't on the belt. So there's a sweatpants carry. I'm at home. It's my Friday. I don't go to work for another couple of hours, so I'm not going to put on real big boy pants. Get over it, all right? Get over it. Then I'm going to carry something a little bit heavier duty, but around the house, But when I'm in the pickup truck, that's another type of EDC. I grab the sling bag, the pouch. That's going to have other stuff in it. So I'm with you there. It's different for what you're doing. Brutal. I stopped carrying my Leatherman Signal. It lives in your see, there we go, the backpack. What's cool about the Signal is it's got that carabiner on there, and you can clip that to things, so you don't have to actually have it in there. You can have it on like the outside of your backpack. My bag's over there. Actually, I was going to show it, but obviously it's not there. That's what I mean. The overall tool is not high performance. Yeah, the overall tool, you're absolutely right. It's not overly high performance. I mean, it's for like small tasks. I mean, and that's what a Leatherman is for. In all honesty, a Leatherman is for those tasks. Like, you have to understand that, especially with your knives and stuff. If you carry a multi-tool, it's a multi-tool. It's a jack of all trades. How does that saying go? A jack of all trades, but a jack of all trades is good. But I don't know how to explain it. It can do a lot of things, but it doesn't do the best for all things. If you need a 10 millimeter socket wrench, you're going to go and get a 10 millimeter socket wrench. I mean, if you need this on a pinch, it's going to get you out of something, if you need it on a pinch. And that's just kind of how I look at it. It just weighs too much, which I carry other stuff. That is the other thing. The weight was a big thing for me because there are a lot of multi-tools that are super big. Like, you ever seen that the Swiss Army knife is like this thick? I mean, it's literally like this big. I'm not going to EDC that thing, but I want one. They're like $200. Should wire cutters be able to cut wire? Yeah, you would think. I think that's Leatherman's biggest downfall is the wire snippers on the new stuff. The old stuff cuts just great. But I'll be honest with you, I don't get it. Honestly, I would agree with you, fully agree with you. Barbarian Brownie, Wade and I were talking about me building a full custom multi-tool. No kidding. Heck yeah. Heck yeah. That sounds freaking awesome. That sounds really awesome. Yeah. I would be curious, what would you go down? I mean, I'm not going to steal your ideas. You don't have to give away your guys' secrets, but be curious. It'd probably be thick. That's the problem with the idea. And I hope you guys can do it. But I think if you want something that's really built tough, it's going to be thick. And then it's not going to be really carryable. I think that's the other thing. Like your EDC, you don't want it to be a freaking like toolbox on your backpack, and it's more work to carry around. The idea is it's to make things easier. And I'm very curious, and I'm excited to see what you guys come up with. Honestly, really am. We got 6 inches of snow here. I'm actually doing a refurb on machine for a national golf account. Wow. Okay. It's a roll behind blower mounted on a trailer. Wow. A V-twin. So you got a Harley Davidson leaf blower. Okay. Who are you, Tim Allen? Oh, I freaking love that show. Tim the Tool Man Taylor. I freaking love that show. I don't know why I thought of that when I read that, but the V-twin. My brother is he works on generators, and I drive a Ford Raptor with a 6.2 in there, right? My brother built a generator. I don't know what the generator is for, but it's got a 6.2 Ford engine in it for a generator, and that just reminded me of that. But anyways, random, I know. Lauren, I just call it a purse too. I don't give a fuck. I'm with you there. I'm with you. Toby, I read Toby. I read that. The Leatherman starts around 4 p.m. Oh, so your leather work doesn't start until 4. Well, have at her then. I'm just kidding. Wow, quite the dump of snow. Yeah, no kidding. I forget that you guys even get snow sometimes in Texas. Here in Minnesota, it's just kind of normal. Except the last couple of years, we ain't got hardly snow at all. I'm with him. I'm with Sid here. We got snow, but it's like super lightweight here, and most of it's getting cold. It's actually turning into ice now because it went slushy for a while. Now it's turning into freaking ice, and it sucks. All good. Yeah, well, you know what? Let's change that. What can I do to change that? Because that's what I want my channel to be about. Like, I want to grow the community. Like, let's build you up then. Let's see what we can do with this community. There's a couple people in the chat. Let's build up what you do. Let's make you big fish. Think big. I want to see what I want to blow you up. I want to find out more. What can I do? My Gladiator isn't considered a real truck. Nobody asked me for truck things since the day I bought the 8 months ago. But you got a Gladiator, don't you? You got dubs on there. You got sweet wheels. Like, I like the Gladiator. My wife, on the other hand, isn't a Jeep fan, because when we were in Hawaii, we rented a Jeep, and she wanted to rent a little car, and I said, nah, we're renting a vehicle. So you had like a choice between like a Honda Accord and a Jeep and something else. That doesn't matter. At the time that we get the rent, I was like, we're getting a Jeep. My wife didn't like the Jeep because she said it rumbled down the road and all the plastic stuff. I was like, that's because this thing is supposed to be modular. You can take the doors off and you can take the roof off, and it's supposed to be like that. She's like, it's not that nice of a ride. And I was like, come on, this thing's sweet. So a Gladiator would be pimp. And random question. I think somebody else said they drive a Jeep. Random question. I can't quite understand this. Why are the window buttons in the center console, why are they not on the door? And if your comeback is because you can take the doors off, then why do you still need the buttons in the center console? Because you can't roll the windows down when the door's off. So why wouldn't that all be in one spot? Now you've got these buttons when the doors are up that don't make sense. Just asking. My pry bar is a Bark River Bravo topo recon in 3V, or if I need to build a city. Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. Let me catch up with these comments here. I'm trying to try my best here. Sid Bones, the bad thing about winter weather here is everything turns into black ice on the roads. People do not know how to drive in this, especially northern side. Hey, come on. I'm going down to Texas because my northern raised and living father and mother-in-law go down to Texas. And so we're going down to Texas. They go down there 6 months out of the year because they want to get out of the cold, and they're smart. Let me check out here. That's why I have a neck knife and the pants come off. I still have a blade. I tried carrying a neck knife for a while. I carried this one because I thought it was super going to be really good and small and everything. The problem I ran into is every time I leaned up against something or my kids or something, they grabbed that. And it felt a little like awkward. Although I still would carry it. But I take it off, and I think I take it off, and I forget to put it back on here. What's going on, Greg Vanderlip? Appreciate you hanging out here. Happy Friday. But, Lauren, I think that's why I kind of, I don't know. I guess that's kind of why I stopped carrying. And maybe I just need to carry something different than that. I want to wear one like around my lanyard because I wear one of Dickinson Trading Post's pouches. That's way over there. But I carried that on a lanyard, and that was pretty cool. You can put a small knife in there. So, yeah. Zero Bytes, welcoming in here. Let me see if I can read that. Let me see what that says here. Cup of coffee in the big time. Oh yeah. Is that how it's done? Donnie is an absolute beast. All right. I want to know. The jack of all trades, a master of none. There we go. That. Thank you. Jack of all trades, master of none. See, it's not a master of all none, but it's a jack of all trades. But they say there's also more to that saying, guys. A master of none, but there's more to it. Like, there's more to it. The master of none, but good. There's something that's like, but they're good at everything still. I got to remember how that works. Oh, man. Let me catch up with these chat here, guys. Sorry. Jack of all trades, master of none, but oftentimes better than the master of one. Thank you. Wade got it. Thank you. Yeah. So it's not the absolute best, but it does good. And now I want to see what you guys come up with making something really, really good. One of the first makers I started following. Oh, sweet. Okay. Welcome in everybody here. Over here. Barbarian, it can be a thin and tough if the whole thing is titanium and MagnaCut. Okay. The problem with, I think, titanium is super light. I tried sharpening this down here. You can't make a knife out of titanium, I guess. And maybe I'm wrong, but MagnaCut would be good. Titanium is good. I'm genuinely curious to see what you guys come up with here. Sid says, all right, folks, I got to get going. Have a great day. Hey, have a great day as well, Sid. Appreciate you hanging out. Have a good weekend. We'll talk later, my guy. Only Barky I have is the Adventurer 2. Just a little guy. That's crazy. Day, get some... Oh, you got some stuff in the mail. I'm waiting for something in the mail. I think Workshop is sending my knife back. I sent my knife out to Workshop. I'm super excited to see what it comes back to. Sounds like there's some stuff happening. I'm not allowed to talk about it. I'm not going to say too much, but I'm getting a knife back from them that I had sharpened up. I gave them my Vaquero, and I love that knife. But supposedly it's going to come back super, super sharp and maybe a mirror edge blade. We'll see. I'm excited to take a look at it. You're having way too much fun cleaning your yard. He sounds like it. I literally am envisioning High Tide EDC revving his engine like this, like a Harley Davidson. Get your motor running, head on the highway. just like Tim Allen. You know what I'm saying? That's exactly what I'm envisioning him with his helmet on. I'm envisioning it. Absolutely. I EDC a Bark River Gunny. Heck yeah. Okay. I like that. Just holler at Brady about some photos. Oh, okay. So Brady has photos of it. I'm gonna have to check it out here. Of course, Brady, you still here? He's from my city. Oh, okay. So, you're not very far from me then. Brady travels to my neck of the woods kind of ish every once in a while. We're going to do some fishing, Brady. Make it happen. So we're going to the Jeep talk. Zero by says, because the doors came up. You said it too quick, didn't you? You didn't wait for me to finish it. I'm telling you. Yeah, you see, good point. Why is it there if the doors come off? Because then you don't need those buttons because the doors aren't there because the windows aren't there. You can't roll the windows because there's no freaking door. And now you got the button there and they ain't doing nothing. Thanks for being a part and helping the community as much. I try. I really try. Sharif speaks highly of Ma. I love Sharif. He is. I need to get him on here. We need to do some more invitation chatting back and forth. And Sharif is one of the people I really, really want to get on the channel. Super knowledgeable. Love his knives. The Kaimanu is my favorite. Although the Aurelia comes second, the Kaimanu is always going to have a special place. And just because I love that thing. It's a beast. Just putting that out there. Just putting out there. My Jeep is analog. What? Really? Is that a thing? I need to know more about Jeeps. I drive a Cherokee. Wranglers are for cheerleaders and hookers. Okay. I'm learning something. Gladiator Rubicon, a stubby steel bumper with D-ring recovery, Warren Evo 10S winch. Wow, nice. Okay. A 2-inch lift, 35's fully upgraded audio. Window buttons are on the center stack for packaging, wiring. Oh, okay. So all the wiring, but like if I take the door off my pickup truck, like I've got my Ford Raptor, it's just, you could just unplug it though. I mean, they would just make sense. There you go. I'm still gonna fight that one. You correct. Change my mind. I can see what you're saying. They're in center stack for packaging, wire purposes. So you still got to unplug something. The wiring still goes there. Changed my mind. Yo, I just saw something coming in here. I have to say thank you, Henry G. Better late than never. Appreciate that. Thank you. Oh yeah. Heck yeah. Appreciate that. Thank you. No, never late. Oh, as long as you're here. Where was I? Just kidding though. If it's 4-wheel drive, I like it. I would agree. Although I had a 1992 F-150 XL, not the XLT, that was broke. Had the 5.0 and it had 4-wheel drive. Piece of garbage. Hot mess. Waste of money. I spent $600 on that when I was in high school. It had 4-wheel drive. Whoop-de-doo. But the truck was just couldn't do squat. I had a 2-wheel drive, 86 two-tone, with the white in the middle, blue on the top, blue on the bottom, 86. It was called the Ford Ranger, but it was a pickup truck. It was an F-150, basically. That thing was hot. Had an inline 6-cylinder. Did not have 4-wheel drive, but that thing was a tractor. So let me preference this. It did not have 4-wheel drive. Had an inline 6. It was a tractor engine, and I would pull people around the block all day long. So growing up, we had it's a creek now, but it was a culvert basically, and we would throw parties, and people would come in and they'd somehow always miss the driveway. And I had 2 of them, and they'd still miss it. They'd go drive down the culvert. Well, you got somebody, what was the car back then, a Pontiac Grand Prix or whatever, the super low of the car. People would come from parties and they get stuck in our culvert. So I'd take that inline 6, I'd park it up there, hook the chain up to it, and I'd pull them right out. That thing didn't have any beefy tires. It didn't have anything. I hardly even put anything in the back, and that thing was a workhorse. I'm telling you, I love me some 4-wheel drive. Don't get me wrong. I drive a Ford Raptor for crying out loud. Who's got the smallest dick in the house? I do. I drive a Ford Raptor. Clearly, I've got something to prove or something. Anyways, I'm being funny. I'm honestly being funny. I'm being serious about the inline 6 being a beast of a tractor engine. Thing was awesome. Anyways. But that's a different topic. Blessed Knives, I am a hooker, so it fits. Oh, that's why is that where the leather came from? We're going too deep. Oh, I meant your Jeep. Get in the Jeep, High Tide. Oh man, I love it. Cookers get paid, but I'm just a lut. Um, that's a good point. That's a really good point. Never even thought about that. I never even thought about that. You guys are saying the same. CRKT just announced a small fixed blade out of titanium. Did they really? I got some. I actually just got some knives from CRKT that I'm allowed to show now. I'm gonna bring them up here. Well, so I don't forget. I'm gonna put them in front of me. Just so I don't forget, so I can show them off here. There are 4 photos, but I can show them on lives, can't I? I mean, they send them for photos, but I can still show you guys some newer-ish stuff. Tell me more. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Have a good day. That means you probably also have a good one as well. Appreciate you hanging out here. Have a good weekend as well. Excited to see more about your knives that you post on Discord and what you come up with. I'm curious to check them out as well. To have a good one here. Let me just take a look here. I'm trying to catch up in the chat. I realize I am way behind. Let me just try to catch up here. 4x4, fast or both. So usually things with 4x4 don't go so fast. Okay, there we go. Inline 6 for the win. Thank you. So you agree with me that an inline 6 is a beast of an engine. I mean, it really is. It was awesome. So harness for the doors on the Jeep have a disconnect and a few wires. The heated mirrors, okay, locks, window switch, would add another 3-way switch. So I've never taken the door. I'll preference that. I've never taken the door off my truck, but I've got the heated mirrors. But I don't think, and maybe that's what's different, because the heated mirrors on the truck actually come from the pillar. Correct me if I'm wrong, and it forces the air through the door that connects to the mirrors. So I don't think there's any switches for the heated mirrors on my truck. Like I said, I've never taken it. I'm just trying to make conversation. So, but I'm still thinking you should be able to one switch. Why can't you just do one big switch, even if it was just like all together? You still haven't convinced me yet. Oh, I daily a 04 Ranger XLT 4x4 4.0 liter beast. Oh my God, Ranger! You know what that is? That's a Ford Ranger. I love it. I almost bought a Ford Ranger, and my wife said no because she wants my kids to have a full-size pickup truck for their first vehicles. Yeah, granted, that's not for a while, but she said that the Ford Ranger is too small, and she thinks that a full-size truck is going to be safe, and I could agree with her. The full-size truck is definitely going to be more safe. So, gosh, I still want to get me a Ford Ranger. I think they're just cool little trucks. I grew up with the Ford Ranger with little square seats. We would drive from southern Minnesota all the way to the tip of Minnesota. We go to Canada. Is that how you say it? I'm just kidding. We go to Canada, driving in that, and it's like 9 hours from where I live, and you're sitting on the seat that's like this big. Granted, I was a lot smaller back then, but man, that thing was just so uncomfortable. Still want one. I still want one. Had my bro, had an 87 Ford short van with the inline 6 and a see, that's what I'm talking about. The van with the inline 6, that makes sense too. I want an old 80s van. I think they're just cool. I really actually just want a real van that I can go traveling with the toilet. I mean, that's really about it. Dually rear end. So a dually rear end is actually what those camper vans would be here. Let's just take a look here. I'm rocking 3-inch of beef, have a purse, drive a Jeep. Watch out, ladies. You're getting and a sweet beer. You know, I mean, I guess that makes sense. I mean, hey, I'm cool with that. But here's the saying. It's watch out, ladies. You're getting pregnant. I have a buddy who used to always say, what did he say? We'd show up. This is years ago. We'd show up to a party, and he'd say, "I'm about to take my shirt off, and someone's getting pregnant." He'd always yell that. So that's what you got to say. I'm about to take my shirt off, and someone's about to get pregnant. That was always his thing. I always laughed about that. The Gladiator will get surgery in the future. 392 Hemi swap. Hopefully, holy smokeronis. Now, jeepers, you're going way down a rabbit hole. My dream and my father's dream is we're Ford guys, so hear me out. Is to get an old 67, maybe 65, because his first car, he still owns it, is a 65 fastback Mustang with a pony interior, candy apple red. Some of you maybe already seen the pictures, but he wants to get another one, not this one, because what you have to do to put a Coyote 5.0 in there is you actually have to separate the frame. And the goal someday is to make that happen. He drives right now he drives that what has he got here? I can't even remember what year, but he's got a Shelby he just recently picked up, and he had a 5.0 with the Coyote, and he always thought that engine would be really sweet in an old 60s Mustang. And I think that would be sweet. So when you talk about doing some surgery, that would probably drop in there pretty well for you, High Tide. Hopefully he wouldn't have to do any major work. Don't you already have enough kids? Slay. Ford freaking Ranger. Yeah, I was gonna say Zero, you drive a Ranger, is that right? Yeah, exactly. 5-gallon bucket and a trash bag boom toilet. That's what I keep in the deer stand. But you know, I guess if you had a van, just a little shower curtain with a 5-gallon bucket, drill a hole down the hole and just right on the road. I mean, I'm being serious. Like, that is why I really want one. So I might have to make it work. I've seen like those toilets. This is really where we're talking toilets. That you can do in like a camper. Maybe I'll just buy a van and just make it happen. I'm gonna make my own one. I'll put a bed in there. I want the kids to enjoy it, because I don't know about you guys, but back in the day we had one of those over the top campers where you had the bed above the cab. Me and my brother would lay up there, and we'd sleep up there for traveling trips. We'd go around the country driving around, and my parents would be down there. It's such a better trip than sitting in the back seat of a vehicle when you're a kid. A little free roaming, go to the fridge, make a Sammy, get a toilet. I mean, that's just what I'm talking about. Like, that was traveling back then. Because I am looking at one, and like, they're expensive. Those Tampers, like the cheapest one for a really like brand new, I don't even know, they're like $75,000 for them. It's just ridiculous. But kind of what I want to do. Maybe because my wife wants to go to bear country, and let me just I'm going to admit it. I get nervous. All right, guys, I get nervous, and when I get nervous, I get anxiety. And when I get anxiety, well, I have to go to the bathroom, fortunately. So I hate road trips for that exact reason. So that was kind of like the initial thought. My wife's like, we want to go to bear country. My kids are getting to the age where they're starting to get excited, and I want to go traveling around. And I just get nervous when I go traveling, because I grew up where I could, in 15 minutes, I could get anywhere. On a gravel road, I could just stop and take a piss. You know what I'm saying? Stop on a gravel road, take a piss. Because I grew up on gravel roads. My wife grew up where gravel road was, the thing you had between the grass and your driveway. That was the most gravel she had. If you know what I'm talking about, you get it. What I'm saying is, I would go up and visit her when we were dating, and I get stuck in traffic. And at this time, I'm driving a 95 Ford Mustang, with a clutch. And I don't know if you know anything about a clutch on some of those fast race cars. I pretended I was a race car. So I had an upgraded clutch in there. I had the shorty little, little short shift in there. I thought it was cool. I had racing seats in there from what was I can't remember the brand. Anyways, Recaro, because they're the same seats in the Raptor. Anyways, I had those and I thought it was cool. But I tell you what, you're getting stuck in a little bit of traffic and you're pushing down that clutch. It was a pain in the butt. I'm telling you, it was just a pain in the butt. But I hated that. That was just no fun. Then, in the fact that you're stuck in traffic, you're doing that. Then you gotta go to the bathroom. It's just not boring. Anyways, let's get back to EDC talk. Let's get back here. Oh, I want a 90s Chevy Silverado trophy truck. That would be sweet. I want one of those Ford Lightnings. The old Ford Lightnings, that's what I want. S10 would be cool. What the S10 versus the Ranger, or versus the Lightning, versus what is Chevy's? Get a compo. Yeah, that's a compo. So that's kind of what I was thinking. When you talk about S10, we're talking about, gosh, what is S10? They had the Ford Lightning. What was Chevy's version of the Ford Lightning? Minivan is dope, and it's a undercover truck. So you're not wrong. And I kind of thought that a sleeper would be cool, but I still can't get. I can't. No, if I'm gonna drive a van, it's gonna be an old van and make that my sleeper one. Not a creeper van, but even though it would look like a creeper van, it'd be more like the A Team or Scooby Doo, the Mystery Machine. Can't do the minivan. I just can't do it. Oh my gosh, 392. Wow. I would love to see that. I played GTA 5, and they had their Gladiator version. That was always my favorite truck. That would be pretty much what you're building. Anybody play games? I haven't played in years. But they talk about GTA 6 finally coming around 20 years later. My bro currently owns a 350. Oh, van sitting on 33s. Oh man, I got 35s on the Raptor, and I'm thinking about putting 37s. But I pull my camper with my truck, and maybe that wouldn't be such a good idea. Putting 37s, 35 is big enough. Yeah, that's gonna be pretty freaking badass. Not gonna lie. I need to start dropping a lot more leather products outside of beer bomb slips, Keystone slips. Yeah, if you're going to be souping up your truck, you're going to need to come up with some more leather work for sure. For sure. I'm not going to disagree. I put 35s on the Astro van. I want to put 35s. Oh my God, that would be astronomically ugly. Would it be cool? It would be cool. Blast Times, I'm hoping to build one insane truck that is also daily driver reliable. See, that's one thing. You start getting down that rabbit hole and building up your vehicle, it turns into not so daily driver at all. That would be a true goal. High Tide, yeah, that's what you meant to say. GMC Cyclone is one of your favorites. So the Cyclone is like the Lightning, am I right? I gotta look that up. Yeah. The Silverado SS and the Cyclone Typhoon. Yes, okay, there we go. The Cyclone. That was like the car or the truck back in the day. I always thought it'd be cool to have a super fast truck, but I feel like living in Minnesota, fast things aren't as important as heavy duty things, because going out on the farm, going in through the snow and stuff, fast isn't always good. Drove a 3-on-1 on the tree. Oh yeah, my dad's got a 60. Gosh, what is it? 62? Gosh, I could be wrong. Ford truck. It's got 3 on the tree, but it wasn't a van like you're saying. But it was super cool. It wasn't a van. I think it's so much easier. You can you don't really even need the clutch. Probably not a good idea. Oh man, old J series trucks. Yes, they're super cool. I can't agree more here. Tub in. Oh my gosh. What about a hot tub in there? A C10 on the 3 on the tree. That would be cool. See, I want a small truck. I really do. Let me do this here. I was gonna look up something really quick. And why was I space casing it here? Oh, you know what it is? I meant to do this earlier. I've got to look up my boy, and I promised him I would do this, and I'm sorry for not doing it. 29 Sparrow reminded me this morning about his leather work. Guys, check out 29 Sparrow. He is dropping some sales, and I promised him I would look up his stuff on here, and I want to make sure you guys know about it. Let me just put the link in the tree really quick here. He told me this morning he's going to be dropping some sales this weekend, so definitely check those out. Anybody else who has anything they want me to link up, let me know. Make sure we do that, of course. All needs to be fast is a Mazda Miata. They don't go fast, but they feel fast. But that's because they're so dangy little. Are you getting something big, or you know what? You ever been in something that's like large, and you're going down the road? It doesn't feel like you're going that fast. That's how the Miata. It's so little it feels like you're going fast. I want a Helix Champ. Okay, I'd drive one of those. They're pretty neat. I'm digging the new Ranger Raptor, so that would be cool. Yeah, the price is wrong. It's small, so you got a little more fuel economy, maybe-ish. It looks cool. I will one up you, and I will say, oh my gosh, the snipe is falling apart right in front of me. I want a Raptor Bronco. I think those look cool. The Bronco Raptor, I think, looks even more spectacular. Don't get me wrong, the Ranger is cool. You guys gotta look one of those up. They're sweet. They're sweet. The Cyclone Typhoon Blazer Extreme in appearance package. Okay, now see that's what you're talking about. I'm talking about the Bronco. That's what kind of what I'm referring to. Yeah, exactly. Too much fun though. A Viper would be cool. I got a friend who had one back when I was in college. He was older. Putting this knife together, by the way, as I'm staring down here. If you're curious what I'm doing, but he had a Viper, and he was, I don't know, those. He was a nerd. I mean that in a good way. He was a nerd where he would develop programs. Which, if you want your kids to be smart, have them learn computers, because this guy had everything at a young age, and he had a Viper and it was super cool. And I'm not even a big fan of what he did to it, but he did some fun stuff with it. A lot of my buddies growing up in college area had fast cars like the GTR. What did one of my buddies had? Oh, the Subaru WRXs. Those were like what they drove around, and they hated me for driving a Mustang. I'll tell you that much, though. So sorry if you guys are offended, but yeah, I like my Mustang. High Tide EDC speaking my language. Yeah, dude, I don't know. I'm still a Ford guy. I just can't help it. My buddy has one, but they're so uncomfortable. They are actually. It's kind of like Corvette people. They like their Corvette. No, the white shoes. My stepdad has a Corvette. It's a certain person. They're really low. The low roofs. The front seat of a Corvette is like sitting in the back seat of a Ford Mustang. You got to be short, and I'm short, and I'm still going to complain about it. Lauren, I know way more about being a gearhead than I ever will about EDC knives. And I know a lot about EDC knives. I mean, that's saying something. That is saying something here. Lauren, I don't care if the seat is half Iron Maiden. Oh my gosh. I also want to make sure, as we talk cars here, I also need to check out our boys over at Blade Binge here. Since we're talking cars, I want to talk about them as well. I also want to make sure that I do check out Blade Bench, because I've got some stuff I want to check out. And I promised, of course, that I would. That's just how it is. That's just how it is. Let's see if there's anything new on here. My neighbor has an STI. Sounds like it peed on Bumblebee. I always used to call it people with the Honda Civics. You know, their exhaust. I always made fun of them. I grew up around a lot of muscle, drag cars, crazy Jeeps, and old school Blazers. Yeah, that was kind of how I did one mood. It was old school muscle. My dad was a huge gearhead as well, and of course the Mustang was just always the favorites. No hate. My first car was a '72 Mach 1. Hells yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I love that car. I really do. Did you have the valance on the bottom, or the what do they call them nowadays? It's not a spoiler, but the front valance, really low, looks super cool. It's like the original one. Was it black and red? You had to have like a hood scoop on there. Oh man, now you're talking my language. Ooh wee. Fastest cars I've ever driven that scared the crap out of me was a '97 Supra. I make sense. Around 1,800 horsepower. Holy smokes. Time to head to work, everyone. Have a great day. And hey, appreciate you stopping in. Have a great weekend here. And appreciate you as well, guys. Knife.69 sent over a few knives for the giveaway. That video is going to be coming out soon. I appreciate you for those knives. Some really cool was a Micron, and what else was the other one? A Kaiser. Super cool knives. So thank you for that, by the way. I don't know if I formally thanked you or not for that, but I appreciate a ton for that donation. That will be going into the giveaway. The 5K giveaway video is coming up here. We'll be doing that. Don't worry. I haven't forgot it, guys. I'm checking out here. Ooh, an Ace Riv here. This is what's in the pocket right now. I've got the black one. I'm a fan of Giant Mouse. I know a lot of you guys don't like it. This is actually a knife from Giant Mouse that's actually made from Riyadh. So this isn't an Italy made knife. Mine is the titanium all black M390. This one is actually kind of one of my favorites, the micarta. What's the price of that? 170 bucks. Not too bad. Liner lock, Magna cut. Okay. That's Magna cut on that? Mine's M390. I didn't even realize that. Okay. I'm gonna have to check that out. I could never get rid of because Jesper actually did. Supposedly, he says no. He was the one who started and said, "Hey, I'm going to send you a care package," and he sent that out to me a couple of years ago, and I could never get rid of it. I wish he would do it again. I really want to work with Giant Mouth. I really do. I think they're just. I'm a huge fan of them. I can't help it. HTE, like a squirrel getting loosened up in pant leg. Yeah, that's true too. Gosh, I wish I didn't have to work today. Just go live all day and talk to you guys about cars and knives and EDC gear. Ooh, Kershaw, these $10? What the heck? You want the new one? Because I've got this one. The GMF 1S is the one that they're popping off right now. I love my little Giant Mouse fixed blade. I gotta say though that I learned this from Anzo. Anzo, of course, we talked about last week, is going up on his own. The reason that the GMF one came out was because they wanted to always have something in stock, and it seems like it's coming back in stock even more. But yeah, it's a fun little guy. I personally really do like it. I want one in all black still. I still want the all black one. I wonder if they have any in stock here. I'd be very curious. Ooh, I know it's not a Strider. If we come up with a Strider, I got a story to talk about. It sounds like ProTech and Strider are no longer going to be working together. What was it, 10 years that they Strider and ProTech were working together? They finally are going to be done making the Strider ProTech collaboration. It's no longer going to be a thing. Sad. Curious to see what happens. Strider knives are kind of like a love-hate relationship from what my understanding. I was hoping maybe come across one here. I still want to get a Strider. I don't own one. I do want to get one soon. It might be sooner or later, because I bet you the price of the Strider ProTech is going to go up quite a bit. Ooh, what's this here? I also want to get myself a McNeese. That's on the list of wants as well. All right. I'm gonna have to check out for those. But guys, I'm getting hungry, and I had no idea that I was on live so long. Gosh, I did no idea. Wow. Okay. Well, I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. I gotta go get some food, guys. It's the weekend. Have a great Friday, and as always, guys, make sure your coffee is stronger than your toddler. Appreciate you guys for hanging out with me today.